Hello everyone. So welcome to my videos. Myself Ashwin Nayak. From today's class, we have to start the ninth standard English subject, and then in the subject to start about that the supplementary part, the third lesson, the Ranjis wonderful bag. So in this story is written by Ruskin Bond. So Ruskin Bond, he has to give the message of the encouragement and confidence make man successful in life, to give the message for this in this story. So yesterday in my previous class we have to study that, so how was Ranji fail in the cricket match. So how did Mr. Kumar, he has to give on to the suggestion. So how did Mr. Kumar given the bat in the luckiest bat. So this story we have to learn in our previous class. Okay, once again I told that. So what we have studying in my previous class. So there was a cricket match in Ranji school. The Suraj, the captain of the school team, was out. The score stood at 53 for 4 wickets. Another 60 runs had to be made for a victory. And only one good batsman, all the rest were bowlers who could not make many more runs. So it was Ranji's turn to bat. He was the youngest member of the team. He was 11-year-old but strong and bold. But he was also out without scoring single run. The match was won by visiting team. The Ranji was very upset. Avoiding the other's player, he walked slowly home towards. He had been trying so hard and practicing regularly, but when an important game came along, he failed to make a big score. So on this way home, he had to pass Mr. Kumar's shop sports. Mr. Kumar sports shops. Mr. Kumar had been the state player once and had scored a century in the match against Tanzania. Kumar called Ranji and inquired, so why did he was looking so sad? Ranji told him that he lost the match. He had not made a good score in these last 3 matches. He would be dropped from the team if he did not do something in the next match. Mr. Kumar led an old but to Ranji. He told Ranji that it was the luckiest of all my old bad. He made a century with that bat. Kumar encouraged and filled confidence in the Ranjis. Mr. Kumar encouraged and filled the confidence in Ranji. He told that Ranji might get 100 runs with the bat. So the Ranji spent a nervous week waiting for the Saturday match. So these are all stories we have to study in my previous class. Okay, let us start that. Ranji really scored 100 runs? Definitely, Mr. Kumar given the suggestion will be worked. Atho Mr. Kumar given the confidence it will be works? Okay, let's start now. The Ranji spent a nervous week waiting for a Saturday match. He asked Koki, the girl next door, to bowl to him in the garden. The Koki bowled quick well. At last Saturday arrival, bright and sunny just right for cricket. The Suraj was the toss for the school and decided to bat first. The opening batsman put on the 30 runs without being separated. The visiting fast bowler could not do much. Then the spin bowlers came on, and immediately there was a change in the game. Two wickets fell in one over, and the score was 33 for 2. Suraj made a few quick runs, then he too was out to one of the spinners. Catch behind the wicket, and it was Ranjis star. Okay, the last three matches, the Ranjis was not scored, not played good at. So the captain of this team, the Suraj told to Ranji, next time you will not get a good score. You will drop the cricket match. So this thought the Ranji really upset. And then after going to home, the sports shop owner Kumar given to the bat and then told that this is the luckiest bat. At least you will God get scored for this minimum hundreds too. ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. So that spent a nervous week waiting for that Saturday match. So Ranji is waiting for that Saturday match and then he has to practice more with his home. He asked to Koki, she is the another girl in this home, to bowl them in the garden. To Kaki bowled quick very well. At the last Saturday is arrival. So arrival, this is the opposite word of dispatch. To bring and Sunny just right for the cricket, the Suraj won the toss for the school and decided to the bat first. So when that Ranji has waiting for this Saturday match, that day is arrived, and then Suraj he was on the toss for school to decided to take a bat first. The opening batsman they took on the 30 runs without being separated. So opening batsman he has to score for this in this 30 runs. 30 runs. The visiting fast bowler could not do much. Then the spin bowlers come on, and immediately there was a the change in the game. So when that fast bowler he has to bowling very fastly, the batsman was hit and scored very well. But the after sometimes when that spinner he has to spin their balls, that's time and immediately there was a change in the game. The two wickets to the fell in the one over. So ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ನರ್ಸ್ ಬೌಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಆಟದ ರೀತಿನೇ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಯಿತು. ಒಂದೇ ಓವರಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ವಿಕೆಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾರೆ ಯಾರು, ಸೂರತ್ ಟೀಮರು. ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ವಾಸ್ 33 ಫಾರ್ 2. 33ಕ್ಕೆ ಎರಡು ವಿಕೆಟ್ಗಳು ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. Suraj made a few quick runs, then he too was the out to one spinner's catch behind the wicket, and it was Ranji's turn. So at that time, the two wickets was gone. At the next term, it is to the Suraj. The Suraj, he has scored for few runs. So at that time, he is also absolutely out by the spinners catch behind the wicket keepers. So Suraj also out, and the next term was the Ranji. He walked slowly to the wicket. The Suraj has to out, so he walks slowly to the wickets. The bowler took a short run, and then the ball was swirling towards to Ranji. So Ranji, he is moved on the slowly to the wicket. He started to batting. The bowlers took start run. Then the ball was to twirling towards the Ranji. So twirling and it means spin. ಬಾಲ್ ಟರ್ನ್ ಆಗಿ ವಿಕೆಟ್ಗೆ ಟಚ್ ಆಗೋ ರೀತಿನ ನಾವು ಟ್ವಿರ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಪಿನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And then a thrill, the run through the Ranji's arm as he felt the ball meet the bat. So when the ball was spin, the Ranji to arms, he has to fight the ball to meet the bat. The Ranji ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅಂದರೆ ಆ ಬಾಲಿಗೆ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಫೋರ್ಸಬಲಿ ಹಿ ವಾಸ್ ಹಿಟ್ ಬೈ ದಟ್ ಬಾಲ್. The ball hit firmly with the middle of this Ranji bat, struck the fast, the helpless bowler, and the spun towards the boundary, the 4 runs. So Ranji ಆ ಬಾಲನ್ನು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು at the middle of this bat and then move to the forcibly that balls was going for the boundary. So he scored that. Yet the first ball was it is to 4 runs. And that was only the beginning. Now the Ranji began to play all the strokes. He set the fielders, the scrambling to all the corner of this field. So when Ranji, he has to score for this very good run, and then the Ranji began to play all the strokes, and then he can shows that various strokes. ವಿವಿಧ ಭಂಗಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದ ರಂಜಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ನು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ he sent the fielders scrambling to all the corner of the field. So opposite teams, he has captain, he has to set up for that. The scrambling to all the corner of the fielders. So ರಂಜಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ವಿವಿಧ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದೋ, ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಫೀಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ರು, ಇವನು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಹೊಡಿತಾನೆ, ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ರು, ಆ ಬೌಂಡ್ರಿ ಹತ್ರ ವೆಯ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. The 20 minutes after the lunch, then Suraj closed the winnings. So after the 20 minutes ಒಳಗಡೆ ಲಂಚ್ ಕರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಸೂರಜ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ದ ರಂಜಿ ವಾಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಔಟ್ ವಿತ್ 58 and Ranji school won the match. So Ranji already the Suraj team the 33 for 2 wickets ಆಯಿತು. When that Ranji has to enter, he is run for the 58 run. ಈತ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ 58 run without out was not with the 58 run he has to score. So at that day the Ranji school was won the match. On this way home, Ranji stopped at Mr. Kumar. So at that day the Ranji was very happy because he has to score very well in the luckiest bat, So that today on this way home, the Ranji stopped at Mr. Kumar Shah. He told that we won. Now ಆಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಗೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ವಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ he has shows very happily. And I made 58 my highest score for so far. It really a lucky bat. So Ranji he is told to that Mr. Kumar, I made a 58. So this score is the highest score for. ಇಟ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲಕ್ಕಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ನೀನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಲಕ್ಕಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂದ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ರಂಜಿ ಸೆಟ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಕುಮಾರ್. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ರಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ದಟ್ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ಸೊ, ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಲಕ್ಕಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್. Giving the Ranji a warm handshake, there will be a bigger scores. And then Mr. Kumar has to give to the handshake for this Ranji, and then congrats to them. There will be a bigger scorers. Highest score ಮಾಡಿದಕ್ಕೆ congrats ಮಾಡಿ Mr. Kumar he has given to that handshake. Ranji went home in the high spirit. He was so pleased that he was stopped at the Jamuna sorry Jaman Jum, Jamuna sweet shop. So Ranji he was very happily in the home in high spirit. So at that time he has to stop the Jamuna sweet shop. ಸೊ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವೀಟ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೋಗಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಬ್ರಾಡ್ ದಿ 2 ಲಡ್ಡೂಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಕೋಕೀಸ್. ಸೊ ತನಗೆ ಆಟಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಕೋಕಿಗೆ ಈ ಸಂತೋಷದ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವಳಿಗೆ 2 ಲಡ್ಡನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನಂತೆ. She did not care much for cricket, but she was crazy about laddus. ಸೊ ಆದರೂ ಅವಳು ನಾನು ಆಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಖುಷಿ, ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಸೊ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ಇವಳು ಗೆದ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವಳಿಗೆ 2 ಲಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಂಡೋದ್ರೆ ಶಿ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಆ 2 ಲಡ್ಡುಗಳನ್ನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ, ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಕೋಕಿ. Mr. Kumar was right. Yes, Mr. Kumar was really, he was too great. It was only the beginning of Ranji's success with the bat. In the next game, he scored 40. The Ranji could have certainly scored more, but he grew careless and allowed himself to be stumped by the wicket keeper. The game that followed was 2 days match, and Ranji, who was now batting at number 3, made 45 runs. So day by day, the Ranji he was scored very well. He scored that another one match he was for this 40. And then the Ranji could have certainly scored more, but he grew careless and allowed himself to be stumped by the wicket keeper. So 40 runs ನಂತರದ ಮ್ಯಾಚಲ್ಲಿ he was to stump by that wicket keeper. The game that followed was a 2 days match. A match there was a 2-day match. And Ranji, who was now batting at number 3, made 45 runs. ಸೊ 45 ರನ್ಗಳು ಹೊಡೆಯೋದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ಆತನ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸು ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ 3ಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾನಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಇದುವರೆಗೂ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ 4 ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಯಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮಿಡಲ್ 6-7ನೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಂತಹ ರಂಜಿ ಈತನ ಮ್ಯಾಜಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ವೆರೈಟಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರೋಕ್ಗಳ ಮೂಲಕ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಡಿ ಹೈ ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಈಗ ಈ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ದ ನಂಬರ್ 3 ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ ವಾಸ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ಡ್ ವಿತ್ ಹಿಮ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಕೋಚ್, ಹಿಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಟನ್ ಸೂರಜ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಬಟ್ ನೋ ಒನ್ ನೌ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್. Wow, what a great genius engagement in these teams, the Ranji. He was very well played in the match, Though everyone he has to appreciate and congratulate them, but no one has to know that about the ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್. ಆದರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಲಕ್ಕಿ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿಂದನೇ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಅಂಥೇಳಿ ಆತ ಅನ್ಕಂತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಟ್ ರಂಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಕುಮಾರ್. ಸೊ ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಈ ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ರಂಜಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಕುಮಾರ್. So one evening, after a game on the Maidan, the Ranji decided to catch a bus home. ಸೊ ಹೀಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಟ ಮುಗಿಸಿ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟೈಮ್ ರಂಜಿ ಬಸ್ಸನ್ನು ಹತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಈ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ದ ಹೋಮ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪಂಡ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ನನ್ನ ನಂತರದ ತರಗತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಬರೋಣ.